the end of the day, I know who I am.
Welcome. You are listening to
Rainbow.
Hey,
I tell you what, you had the stripping music going on. I was like, ding, ding,
Hey,
that's all you need. That's
love
all
and
you need.
relationships, life after
Look,
heartbreak, you need a little,
I know all I could do is
gotta get your Stella back. You know what I'm
hit the
saying?
shoulders. That's all you need to do.
Hey,
What's going
welcome back.
on?
We
Oh
live, baby.
no, we held it down.
I
Get some
listen.
good kisses. That's what I'm
I
talking
missed
about.
you. And
I missed you.
thank y'all for tuning in again to Rainbow Table Talk. I am DJ Duchess. I want to welcome back Coach Kalila KJ
Back
Jensen.
in the building. I am Kalila J. What's going on, my good people? How
Welcome
y'all
back.
doing?
Welcome back. She ain't feeling tender anymore.
Look. Tender try to. I said no. Don't be no
Listen,
tenderoni.
so you got your tea. You good?
I got my tea. I'm
All
good.
right, y'all. We officially are back together, which means I can put away my serious hat and be a clown like I always am. Thank you. Oh,
This
no?
is
Okay.
a lies. Y'all
All
know
right.
she the clown.
All
Stop
right.
that.
All right. All right. So, Kate, you are bringing us our next guest. So why don't you go ahead and introduce?
Yes, Keita, the dating coach. I won't give too much away. So you know already we're going to talk about life after heartbreak, what it means to date. She helps the queer community. So let's go ahead and bring her on and we will go ahead and let her introduce herself.
What up?
Hey, hello,
Hey,
hello.
How
what's
you
going
doing?
on, Keita?
What's up, beautiful people? How are you?
Awesome,
Hello there.
awesome. Welcome. You
Man,
welcome
I
to the
can't
fun
stand
spot.
folks with dimples. You think they could get
Right?
can I surgically get dimples? I can't.
I know you can borrow. I can maybe try to give you mine, borrow them for a day.
Yeah, just one each. Just
Just
give me one.
automatically, you got dimples, folks staring at your smile off rip.
Just
All the
give
time.
one. It's like that's all you need. That's all you need.
Welcome,
Well,
Keita. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
awesome. So we'll just kick it off here. Tell the people who you are and how do you serve the world.
Yeah. So I am Kita. I am a queer dating and relationship coach, and just to throw it out there, soon to be a matchmaker because I'm doing that as well. And I teach people how to date. I teach people how to love themselves. I help couples like set a foundation or reset a foundation for their relationship so they can really go in understanding that it's about being 100% responsible on both sides and not 50-50. And, my mission in life is to transform how we operate inside our relationships, to transform when we get into relationships and to really go into our relationships, whether they're romantic, friendships, co-workers, family, really going in whole and complete so we know who we are, we can ask for what we want, and um, not fear that. So that's what I
Now
do.
that we got a matchmaker, you know you're gonna have to make me up. And
I got you.
whoever's listening, so this is gonna be good. I know you're gonna bless us with some good wisdom. Duchess, you mind
Mhm.
kicking us off with the icebreaker? We always like try to break the ice, and we got a little,
I got
we
you.
like to have fun at the beginning.
All
So what you
right.
got?
Yeah.
So, icebreaker. What song helps you get through heartbreak?
I don't have a specific song, right? Like it really depends on how long I was in the relationship, what the heartbreak was over. Like sometimes it was like Usher Let It Burn. Sometimes I took it all the way back to like Boys to Men. Sometimes you just put on the whole Adele album and you like flow through all the emotions of that. So I usually find a pretty good playlist or I put one together and then just flow through all of the emotions. I cry, I get angry, I run, I cry some more. So I don't have just one particular song because I think that when you go through a breakup, there's too many emotions for just one song.
So it depends on the level of love that you were in that relationship.
Yes, 100%.
See,
What you got, Kate?
I got the John B. don't listen to. That's when I was acting
Yes.
scandalous back in the day. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Then I move on to Tevin Campbell. Can we talk? That's when I'm trying to
Hmm.
get back
Oh,
in the day.
you sound like you try to get back in the relationship. Talk about
Right?
can we talk?
Yeah.
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 For me, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
You're
have to
not
go
getting
with
over the heartbreak.
I'm gonna have to go with classic Brandy, Broken Hearted.
Mm.
Uh Why I'm Lonely and Broken Hearted.
Broken heart. Mm.
That's if I was in love. Now,
Yeah.
if this was just a any old kind of relationship, then it might be I'm single again. That's on the ground. It just
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah. You need that transition song. You
It
need
just
the song that's
depends
gonna bring
on
you
where my
through.
feelings was in the relationship.
Yes, yes. Well, I mean, I used to do that Have You Ever Loved Somebody by Brandy like on repeat. But that was like back in the day. I was in high school. I was
Yeah,
trying to figure some things out, right? But
I'm still trying to figure some things out.
aren't we all? Everybody is.
So we're on the topic of we're talking a little bit about heartbreak. So let's start from there. How
Yeah.
does one heal from a heartbreak and then move on to the next chapter? We'll get into the dating stuff in a bit, but how do we make that first move?
I think first and foremost, you have to give yourself time to reflect and heal. I think we go into heartbreak, we go through all the emotions of, being angry or upset, or we avoid our emotions and we just don't take the time to reflect on what expectations that I have that were broken, if I'm hurt, what pains there, and then really looking like, okay, cool, this person showed up in my life, this is what we dealt with, argued about often, what I was upset about often, why did that person show up, right? Relationships are mirrors, and people show up in our life to let us know what's going on over here with us, what's unhealed, what we need to like tap into for ourselves. So if people want to skip the part of looking at themselves in the mirror and reflecting on why this person even showed up in the first place. So that's always like the first step. Like take your time, deal with the emotions, deal with what's there, reflect, and then then it'll be a lot easier to move on because you'll be able to understand why they showed up the way that they did and why y'all had the experiences that you had together.
So, at what point in time do you slash tires at that point in the process? No, we're not doing that. We're growing up.
I mean, you can do that if that makes you feel better. There's no right or wrong way to heal. Like we all have the things that like we. I
Cheetah,
mean,
don't encourage me.
I
Come on,
mean,
just maybe a little
I mean,
slit. That's it.
if that makes you feel better, make a little poke, something, right? Like whatever makes you like whatever causes you to heal. I say do what you do, right? Because either way, if you don't get it out, then it's gonna have a physical effect on you. So I say like get it out. Will you have to deal with the repercussions and consequences of that? Yeah, maybe, but I mean, you're gonna have to deal with something either way, so you might as well get it out of your system.
So I've always felt like in relationships, it wasn't always heartbreak. I feel like there has to be a time where we have to distinguish between what heartbreak is and what hurt feelings are. Because
Yeah.
I've been in relationships where I've had my heart broken. Well, probably about once. I think after that one, I was just like, that's not happening again. So I think anything after that was just, you hurt my feelings. Like the audacity of you to end things with me because I'm amazing. And so I don't know how y'all feel about y'all selves, but if you break up with me, you crazy. So
That's
that's
that good old inside word.
that's that Sagittarian.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Leo, so I think everybody's crazy that breaks up with me. I'm like, but I'm great and I have good hair, so why? I'm fun. Yes.
See, I'm a Virgo. I'm gonna think it to death. I said, you know what it is? Because I brought you cold fries. Is that what it is?
Really?
Is that-
I was just gonna do the
Well, well, you have to look at too, like, did you really get your heart broken, or was there an expectation that you have had of the other person, right? This idea that you had of them, and that expectation got broken. So I think for a lot of people, like, the heart doesn't get broken, your expectation of the other person, because a lot of times we fall in love or get attracted to the idea of someone because we don't really know them, we don't really know ourselves. So that's always an important question of, like, is it really my heart? Am I really devastated? Or was there expectations that I put on them or myself and that got broken?
You know, we also got to be careful with how we present ourselves, because I think a lot of times we just give people the cheat codes like up front. Like, it's just like, oh yeah, you know, I'm a go-getter and I love to do this and I want to start a business, and all of a sudden they're just like, oh, I want to do the same things and I got ambitions, and then like you come home and you're like, you ain't done none of the stuff you said. Well, I gave you the cheat code. I gave you the lock and key to my heart. Fooled myself.
And Keita, talk to us a little bit. Why do we do that? Why do people kind of show up like a sales representative first? Do you have any notion of why we do that?
Well, number one, for queer people specifically, if you think about it, we go through a large part of our life being told that what we feel isn't real, right? That, are you sure you feel that way? Are you sure? Maybe you should wait. Maybe you should, you know, like think about it for a little bit. You're not really sure. You don't know what you want. So I think a lot of times for queer people, we're playing catch up, and then in order to play catch up and meet the right person, we become who we think that we need to be, and we don't take the time to really discover ourselves, because that those stories and those comments about us not knowing who we are, or are you really sure, we forget to deal with that and kind of push those aside and say, that's not me anymore, and really discover who we are. So we may go in, someone that may know who they are, say, oh, I want to start a business, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you go, oh, I want to do that too, because that'll make the other person happy and that person will stay. And I've had a lifetime of people leaving me or not accepting me, so I want this person to accept me. And so that's a large reason why, like, we just don't take the time to really know ourselves, to be able to stand in and say, that's cool, you want a business, I don't want a business, I'm good with a 9 to 5, I want a salary, I want consistency, I want that. But we think that if we say that, then it's not going to make the other person happy. And so we say things, we say what people, what we think people want us to say, and we become chameleons and we mold into them. And it takes heartbreak and breakups and disappointment to really go, okay, who am I? Let me sit and discover that for myself. So.
And that's interesting that you say that, because after getting out of relationships, I find that you have that moment where you're like, well, dang, what do I do now? Like, because you end up like, you change your friends, or you assimilate and bring in other friends, the things that you do, your hobbies, those things that, like, where you go out, places you like to eat. It's almost like you lost a part of yourself because you changed so much in a relationship. So how do you get to that point where you're holding on to the true essence of yourself, but also adapting in a new relationship?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, to get to the essence of you, sometimes you have to, especially when you like first come out or right before you get into relationships, you gotta put earmuffs on and do your thing, right? Sometimes we don't date enough, or we don't interact with people enough to really decide like what's good for us, what's not good for us. We go out in the world and all we can do is mimic what we've seen. So we mimic the relationships of our parents or our friends or our siblings and people around us. So you kind of got to go earmuffs and like do your thing. If that's dating around with a bunch of people, great. If that's getting in one relationship, that's great. But you got to take notes of what you like and what you don't like, right? And then when you actually do get into the relationship that you want to get in, you have to continue to grow on an individual level. So you have to have your individual time, separate. You can't spend every single moment together. You're going to get on each other's nerves. You just can't do that, right? Which is a large reason why some couples didn't make it through COVID, right? Just saying. Just saying, right? Because they don't know themselves, and then they have to be around each other and really deal with each other, and it's like, ooh, I didn't know you were like that. So so you have to have your individual time, and have things that you on an individual level really like to do by yourself, right? And be willing to grow and learn even when you're in a relationship with someone. We get so caught up in the other person accepting us and loving us and giving us attention that we forget to pay attention to ourselves. But that's from conditioning, because that's how we grow up. You know, we grow up pleasing our parents, and we get attention for doing what they're asking us to do, and loving who they're asking us to love and hang out with, right? So it takes a minute for you to really get to the point where you're like, I'm going to continue to grow on an individual level no matter what.
So it sounds like kind of like a self-discovery journey. So as you're going through this dating process, it's like we tend to feel like, okay, we're going to seek someone else, find out about someone else, but it's really we're learning about ourselves. So when you're working with your clients or the group, what are like you're finding the top misconceptions around dating?
That dating's hard. That if I do this particular thing or follow these rules, it'll be perfect and I'll find the perfect person. And some other misconception is, well, if I just stop what I'm doing and not do anything, that person will come in. But it's like, you don't do that with any other area of your life. If you want a new job, are you just going to sit on your couch and go, I'm just waiting on a new job to show up? No, you're going to go apply for a new job. You're going to build a resume, or if you want more money, you'll get a side hustle, or you'll apply for a job with more money. If you want to lose weight and get fit, you're going to go get a trainer. But relationships and dating is really the only place where we're told, if you just wait, someone will show up. So I have to like really break that, because people are like, well, I've tried all the things, right? And dating is so hard. And dating's not hard. It's hard discovering who you are and what you want. It's hard asking for what you want. It's hard saying no, right, to people that don't match up, because we're so wanting the attention that we will say yes even when we mean no, right? So there's a lot of different misconceptions, but there's just so many rules that people have around dating, and I spend a lot of time dismantling those rules, because those rules are getting in the way of people really being able to attract their ideal person and their perfect person. So those are just a few.
I always thought like you'd see people, and especially now with COVID going on, and so people are trying to be a little bit more conscious about where they're going and what they're doing. So the notion of suggesting to somebody like get on a dating app, and people will immediately be like, I'm not going out with no stranger. But the thing is, if you were to go to a club, somebody buy you a drink, y'all talk on the phone for a little bit, and then you end up going on a date. To me, there really was no difference from like, I met you online, we talked for a while, and then I met you out in public and we talked. Do you see a lot of people who hesitate to do online dating?
Yeah, mainly because I think there is this dating apps, they can work. They don't always work, right? But we don't know how to use them either, right? No one teaches us how to use them. They just go, oh, here you go, swipe left, swipe right, someone will show up. But it's like no, there's an art to your pictures, there's an art to your profile. Like you have to take the time to do that. Like you should know what you're looking for. And so we have not been successful with dating apps, so we don't use them. And I say the time of COVID and dating apps, and like people will tell you who they are. So just right up front, it's like, oh, I wish this person had a warning label. Well, they're kind of showing you that already. I don't think we can get away from it. It is just part of it. It's a way to meet someone the same way you would go on their Instagram and social media. It's the same thing. You just have to know how to effectively use that and how to approach someone other than like, hey, because please don't message. For everybody out there, please do not message anybody just hey if you want to talk to them. Like
That don't work.
So give us a pickup. Give us a little pickup line.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me get my piece of paper.
If you was gonna
pickup line,
y'all get your pen and paper. All right.
Well, you have to
approach somebody. What you typing in the box?
Okay. So one, it would depend on what is actually in their profile, right? So if so, you would have to give me something like what would be in your dating profile.
Okay, hold on. Now, don't get personal with me. I'm in a relationship. I'll play with you. So it'd be like, I like music and I like poetry and I like to hang out. Producer said I'm lame. Hold on, that's what I like. I like music, poetry, photography. I like to go for I don't want to sweat, so I like to go out to restaurants and try new things.
And I got astrology and I got 5 cats.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So you like music, you like poetry, you like to go out. So I would ask you, because some people would say the poetry and they'll be like, oh my gosh, tell me your favorite poet, your favorite poet, blah blah blah. That's lame, right? You want to put them on the spot. You want to get a little bit in action. So I'd be like, oh man, I really like poetry too. Like I'll create a poem if you create one. Write a poem for me.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
Wait a minute, hold on, because the draws just got the draws.
That's it. That's like.
And well, and look, well, and look, regardless of whether they actually write a poem or not, like now you sparked the conversation, right? And they would be like, oh, I can't write poetry, but I like it and I like to listen to this person and great, blah blah blah. Then you can go into poetry slams. You can start sending them videos. Yeah, it is.
Because what you normally get, especially as like a masculine presenting lesbian, what you normally get is, oh, you'll write me some poetry, and it'd be like, I'll recycle the same poem that I'm sending everybody.
Right. But see, look, but the difference is I told you I would give you something in return.
Exactly.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so now we have this kind of agreement, and we have this agreement that we're both in it, not just like, why don't you show me something and then I'll just sit and watch and decide. No, we're kind of both in this conversation together, and people are more willing to actually engage in messages like that instead of, oh, write me a poem. I mean, they're probably going to go copy and paste something off Google, but that's fine, because then if I'm a poet, then I can write something really deep. And then now we're engaged in something completely different,
Real talk, real life story. I had someone send me the lyrics to India Ari's I Am Ready for Love as if it was theirs. And it was like when the song first came out. So I was like, I hadn't heard it yet. So I'm telling my homegirl, oh, they wrote me this nice song. Let me. And she looked at me and was like, ooh, that's India.Arie. So I went and looked at the song and was like,
but you about to move in, ain't you?
No, Blair. It made somebody who was unattractive look a little bit more attractive.
Like you could have put some more effort into that.
Yeah.
What was your response to that?
There was no response. You ain't hearing from me again. That's some plagiarism. You
should have said like India.Arie's picture. Like, does this look familiar?
Yeah, but see that showed you a lot about that person, right? Yeah. So because you did that, you'll be like, yeah, no, like you lie, you copy people, like you're not authentic, like all that. You're like, not for me. So that's why you want to ask questions in a way where people will tell you or show you who they are or what they would do. Right. And we don't do that. We ask for people's favorite color. And it's like, why is that relevant?
Yeah. What can you do with that? I love the approach that you have. Is like, it's not only intriguing, but it kind of sparks something and it kind of builds upon it versus like the superficial middle school, high school. Hey, What's your favorite color? It's actually like
Yeah.
interaction and building something.
Yep.
So
Yes.
with you being the dating guru, uh,
Thank you.
how is how was the dating game for you?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Which is why I do what I do, right? Because I don't think that people, it wasn't like terrible, but I was a people pleaser. I also had to deal with this thing of not being like my dad. So I found people to be in relationships with that were, because I'm kind of rowdy, right? That would calm me down. They were not as, they didn't want to go out. They didn't want to do these things. So I was like, well, I'm not going to be like my dad and be rowdy and go out and drink and do all this other kind of stuff. So I'm going to find me someone that's like the complete opposite. And then it got really boring. And but I stayed in it because I was people pleasing, and there's so many things like that were really in it, and I was mimicking who I was dating based on who I saw my cousins and my family members date and all that. And so I really had to like sit with myself after a couple of breakups to really hone in on why these people are coming into my life. And so it went all the way back from pleasing my mom, pleasing my dad. I discovered when I became a people pleaser and a hero and trying to save everybody, all of my serious relationships, they weren't out. They came out with me, and I made it okay because I could be out with my family and all of that. So I was trying to save them. So and I did that for a majority of my childhood. I saved my mom. I was trying to save my dad. I helped my brothers, and I got attention for that, not love for it, which is different. So yeah. So I went through all of this anguish and turmoil, and I can see how coming out and being LGBTQ and being a person of color all wraps up into how we get into relationships, how we interact in our relationships, whether we heal after heartbreak or not. And so I decided that if I can ease someone's pain and teach them how to love themselves in a way to where they can go into a relationship whole, perfect, and complete, then I would do that, because I don't want anyone to go through like what I went through, because they don't have to. Like, we can learn from mistakes, but it doesn't have to be our own mistakes. So I want people to learn from me and my experiences and what I've already gone through.
That's beautiful.
So
somebody a heads up.
So
Yeah.
Kelly, you made a post earlier that I really liked, and it was basically like, some of us are learning how to date in our 30s because we had to put on this whole portrayal of greatness, or being within this box. And so now, how is it that you transition? Like, once you finally come out, what is dating look like? Like, how do we assimilate from this heteronormative form of dating into being ourselves in the LGBTQ community?
Yeah, that's where you kind of got to risk it for the biscuit and try some things and like get out there and like understand what your beliefs are first and foremost. Like, what do you believe about dating? What do you believe about relationships? Like, what did you see growing up? What do you even believe about yourself? Because a lot of times when we come out, we're just trying to find someone to like love us and give us attention and affection, and for people to like us. And then depending on what we've seen on a representation aspect, we'll go out and just mimic. So you have to get really clear of like, what do I even know about dating? What do I know about myself? What do I believe? What have I seen? And then you'll be like, well, let me try it. No, that didn't work.
Yeah.
And we have to do that without getting attached, right? Yeah. Not getting attached to the very first person I go out and I meet and I date, we're going to be in love, right? And we're going to be together forever. That's probably not going to happen, because you have so much growing to do. You have so much healing to do, right? You're so much discovery. So even if you're 30, like, be in the journey and the discovery of it all, because that's beautiful. and it's attractive, and it's confidence, and and it may be a little cute because people are like, oh, you're just trying to figure yourself out, but don't get attached.
Yeah.
Be in discovery, but don't
Like,
get attached. Yeah.
that seems so hard nowadays because it's like you see where it's like people talk for 2 weeks and then it's like, oh, we
Yep.
go together. Like
Yeah.
dating is dating still a thing? Is it still like, because I know like one of my coworkers, she's like, she's the type, she'll go on a date and then she'll leave a date to go on a date, and like other people at the job will be like, and she's like, I'm single, I'm not trying to get attached because I get attached easily, and so she's like, I'm actively dating until I find somebody who wants to invest the same time in me that I want to invest in them. And we make it seem taboo, but is that what we're supposed to be doing?
100%. Yeah, like you want, because look, you don't want to get into a relationship just for the sake of getting into a relationship, right?
Okay.
And a lot of times we do that. We go, well, this person over here is in a relationship, and this person over here is in a relationship, and I'm third willing and fifth willing and all of that. But it's also like, do you really want to be in a relationship? Like, why are you dating? Are you dating because you want to get in a relationship because you want to get in a relationship, or are you dating because other people in a relationship and you don't want to be by yourself, right? So, and on the flip side of that, the same way your friend is dating because she knows that she gets attached, she has to be really careful of not getting attached to the system that she has created to not get attached. So is she really dating and bouncing around because she's single and that's what she wants to do? Or is she dating and bouncing around and being single to prevent something from happening? Those are two totally different things, right?
Yeah.
So it really is like, be empowered in whatever it is that you're choosing. But yes, date around, meet people, like because you discover the world and you discover you and what you want and what you don't want. And even if you go through 3 people and you're like, all I know is what I don't want, great.
Yeah.
Because when you, because
get closer.
you're getting closer to what you do want. So yeah, I say bounce around, but you also have to know yourself. If you know you want to be in a relationship, okay, cool. Be in a relationship. Don't entertain friends with benefits. Don't entertain. You got to say no to people that you know don't match up with you. Don't just be in a relationship for the sake of being in one.
Yeah. And that's some good advice. So Kita, talk to us a little bit about this. So you're saying don't just kind of date to just, okay, you need to have some intention. So with that intention, what do people need to be focused on? Like when you're looking for a mate?
Your requirements. So some people call them deal breakers. I call them requirements because we dig a little bit deeper. People have their list and they're like, I know my list and what I'm looking for, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. But what do you value about those things on your list, right? So when I work with people, they go, well, I want someone that is financially responsible. Okay, cool. What does that look like?
Yeah.
Right? Like what's the picture? What are you looking for? What's the experience you have to have to know that that person across from you is financially responsible, right? And a lot of times we don't know that. So the person that you're in a relationship with may think that they're actually being financially responsible, or they may not even know that's a thing, but you're sitting over here like it's not. And so if you don't know what that looks like, or you're only going off of what you've known in the past, then like you can't say yes or no to someone, right? If you don't dig in deep and say, oh, this is what I value about trust. This is what I value about truth. This is what I value about, passion and authenticity. If you don't understand that, then one, you can't have a conversation with someone on a dating app, in person, whatever. So, and ask them questions in a way to where they'll tell you what they value out of those things, right? And you don't know what you're looking for, right? So you have to know, first and foremost, you have to know your requirements, and you have to look for the type of relationship that you want, not the person. Because people can be however they want to be, right?
Yeah.
You see it all the time. Someone will say, well, they didn't do this in their relationship with me, but they're doing it in their relationship with her. Yeah, people they will choose to be however they want to be. So you have to focus on the type of relationship that you want, and then someone will come in that want that same type of relationship, and then you actively put effort and work on that daily, moment by moment, month by month, year by year with each other.
Oh man, that's like a secret formula. Because so many times we'll say, okay, I want the person to look like this. I want them to have this job. I want them to
Yes.
have these hobbies. And you're looking externally, but based off what you're saying, if you're saying, okay, this is the type of relationship I want, and you're
Mm-hmm.
describing it, it makes the process a lot easier.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
because you can be open to other people. You can be open to any person to show up. And when you're open to anybody, everywhere is an opportunity to meet someone. So you're not just stuck on a dating app, or you're not just stuck on this particular thing, right? But if you're just looking for a person, then like your opportunity is like this. Like it's like looking through a peephole.
You did
Versus,
They didn't have that going on.
yeah.
You did a TikTok that was I think the girl was basically asking like as a femme, how do you talk to a masculine presenting, because at the most studs are gonna wait for you to talk to them because
We don't know.
we don't know.
Yes.
And we don't want to get offended. So
Yep.
so how what was the advice that you gave her?
Well, one, you have to use charged language, right? So instead of, if you see someone and be like, oh, that shirt's really cute, like cute is like really friendly, right? Or that shirt looks nice on you. That's friendly. You're automatically going to get put into the friend zone. But if you're like, that shirt looks really attractive on you, or you look really hot in that shirt, or I like the way the shirt like caresses your biceps, like whatever it is, right? You have to use charged language.
Get a little emoji with the hard eyes. I see.
Yes. But like, and then you can give the smile, right? But without the charged language, then we can't distinguish between whether someone is flirting with us or if someone's being nice. And I get that question all the time when it comes to flirting. They're like, how do I know they're just not being nice? So it's like, what's their body language? Are they using charged language? Are they making eye contact with you? That kind of stuff, right? So first and foremost, you have to use the charged language and speak in a way to where someone knows for sure that you are attracted to them.
Because I am clueless. I never know. I never know when somebody's attracted. I mean, literally. You could come over and sit on my lap, and I'd be like, "Well, no other place to sit. I don't want."
Twirl your locks around their fingers. Like, wait a minute, what is she doing?
All of this open space, but there wasn't anywhere to sit. So
I don't know.
She was
Maybe
just being nice.
Right. Maybe I don't know. You all right? You comfortable? Okay. Like,
man.
So I understand it because we get confused sometimes.
Yeah, I assume everybody's flirting. So
Keita, so what's the contrast? So like we got the femme trying to talk to the masculine, but what is your advice to like kind of the masculine in a world that to the femme? If that's your preference.
Here's the thing. It is the same. You can still use charged language. We still know how not to be creepy. You know, I think that's the thing with masculine presenting folks is that like we know how not to be creepy, but I know that's like the thing in the back of the head of like, okay, how do I tell her she's hot without being creepy? And you just walk up because we're soft, and you're like, you know what, girl, I find you really attractive, and I'm just trying to get to know you. Are you here with anybody? If not, can I buy you a drink? Can we talk? Yes. You know, I don't want to interrupt you. So can I just, give you my number? Like, those things like that, right? We have a softness about us that won't even allow us to be creepy. Some of us, not everybody.
For me, it's the confidence.
Look, I'm about to say yes. I'm about to say yes. What do you want to drink? I got tea over here. What do you want?
Yeah. Well, and did you notice what I did? Actually lowered the tone of my voice. Mm-hmm. So you can lower the tone of your voice. You can slow down. You can use some pauses, and just like don't be in a rush, right? Because it's like very, sensual at the same time. And that's not how you talk to your friends. This is how you talk to somebody that you find attractive.
Yeah, look.
Like
I need
it's
the
no,
dimples.
just like
I
stuff like
need the
that, like
dimples.
That's
that.
how I talk to Siri, because that's the only way Siri listens to me. When I talk fast and
It's
aggressive,
wrong.
Siri be like, you better
I
talk
don't
wrong, baby.
understand, is what
Yeah.
Siri says. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll
You
be
want
like,
peanut butter
Siri,
and jelly
hey,
on that sandwich?
hey
Or...
Siri, remind me in 20 minutes.
See, there you go.
Look. Who paid attention to me? Hey Siri, remind me in 20 minutes that I gotta, get up for work. There you go. Thank you.
Siri's like,
Installing the
I got
voice.
you. I
Yeah.
got you.
As
Yeah.
soon as I talk aggressive, it don't work.
Nope. You gotta like lower it, slow down, that kind of stuff. Take your time. Don't seem like you're in a rush. Because if you do, right, then they're like, what's the rush? Like, pay attention to me, right? So, and everybody can appreciate the like intentionality and just like in the presence, regardless of whether they are, available, not available, straight, not straight, all of that.
Confidence is key as well. Like
Yep.
it's always the confidence for me. Like
Yep.
just walk in it, relish in it. Just you think you are the ish to you, and so I'm gonna think it too.
Yeah, so you have to know what you have to offer. And I always tell people there are three things. You want to keep in mind the three things that you have to offer. And one of them, of course, always has to be a physical sense in some way, shape, or form. So my three things are I'm smart, I'm funny like Kevin Hart, and I have the best lips for kissing. So when I think about that, and I kind of think about that, like, that's what I have to offer. And I'm about to go over there and have this conversation and give it to her. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you do that, then you don't go over there like, oh my gosh, like, I wonder if she'll like me. No, you're not going to go over there like that because you know what you have to offer. Like who wouldn't like that? Right. Yeah. So that helps with your confidence. Right. And then of course you have to practice the same way you do everything else. Dating, flirting, it's a skill. So like practice at the store with an Uber driver, like whatever, right? Like
that producer?
I'm going to Walmart. And
He's telling me I'm allowed to flirt in public at random.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You're in a relationship, but I don't know.
Nope. You said it. It's done. I'm doing it.
All right.
Look, I'm gonna go practice tonight at Walmart.
Yeah, you should.
Assignment for this week, KJ. Like you gotta go out, and I need you to talk. What's a goal? Can she talk like two people in a week? Let's go flirt with two people.
Two people in a week? Well, hold on. How often are you really out and about? You should be flirting with someone like at least once a day.
Okay, shoot the bar high. Let's go.
So I need to go to Harris Teeter.
Yeah.
Walmart.
There you go.
Find somebody at a park.
Now remember,
with a dog.
Based on where you might be shopping,
there you go.
Depending on what you're looking for, where you're shopping. Maybe go to Target.
Yeah, that's a I want to find her on like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to find her on an aisle. Just we just bump in and we like, oh my God, oh, you like whole grain pasta?
I mean, you can't find her if you don't approach her. So
hey girl, so the way the charged language would have to be something like, hey girl, the way you pick up them boxes of pasta, woo, wee. Like that.
Let me go ahead and get that ragu on.
That may work. I don't. that may work.
See, that falls under the humor. What I bring to the table.
Yes.
Humor.
I'm fine. So you want to use that. You want to use what works for you. I'm short. I'm like 4'11", and like I said, I'm funny like Kevin Hart. I'm a Leo. I'm like out there, but I will use my height in a heartbeat.
Right.
In a heartbeat. Like I'll just roll up to someone and I'll be like, hey girl. I'll be like, how's it? How's the weather up there? Whatever it is, right? Just to crack a joke, right? Or I mean, it's just anything. So use what you have, use what works for you. And humor goes a long way. Like humor makes people feel good, and when you can make someone feel good, then they're drawn into you.
So I got a question for you.
Okay.
Because I have been in my life, I'm admittedly a serial monogamist.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've often said, like, people are like, don't rebound. Rebounding's not good. Don't rebound. So, but I've always felt like if the relationship really wasn't all that, and you rebound, like what if you rebound and you make the game winning shot off that rebound? Like is that a problem then?
It's not a problem to rebound. What will come up is once that mask, because everybody has a mask in the beginning, even when we rebound, once that mask comes off, now you have to understand that whatever you didn't heal from previous relationships, you have now brought another person into the mix to deal with your problem. So when the mask comes off, you can rebound all you want to, but then you have to go, oh, this is some stuff I didn't work on. I'm gonna work on this. Okay. Doesn't mean we have to leave. Like relationships are about responsibility, and you have to look and go, I'm sorry, that's my mess.
So you need to.
That's
you
not
need
for.
to own.
Yeah, you really have to own it.
That you brought in with you, and just go, hey, I like you a lot. Let me drop this off real quick. Somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Some people will get into relationships thinking it fixes something about them, but all you did was brought that person into your problem, and it's not going to go away. It's actually going to escalate because then they'll project back to you, right? What's going on. And so, you have to be like, ooh, that's my mess. Let me deal with this. I got it. We're good. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah. So with that, like, how do you know when you're ready to date?
When you are clear about what you want, when you have the confidence to say no to whoever shows up, and when you are not attached to the outcome. When you can live your life as a single person, go out, be happy, go home, and still be like, that was a great night. I'm cool. I'm by myself, and not attached to, let me go out and find somebody, then you're ready to date, right? But if you're unclear about what you want, if you are like, oh, well, I have to be in a relationship because of this and this and this and this, then you're not ready to date, because who you will attract is someone that will throw all the stuff that you don't want at you. And so being clear and being confident, and then just having fun. That's how you know.
So do you have any self-help books out or anything? You working on anything? Do you need to work on anything? What
this was like
you to, this is some good stuff.
That was good. This is so good. So good.
People have always thrown out the whole book thing. I write often, but it's not in a book form. No. So I don't have a book. I don't have anything. I have a group called Queer Connections, and we come in, we meet every Tuesday, and I coach them on their dating and relationship stuff. Like we do hot seats, and I take them through exercises and meditations and journaling and all that. So I'm coaching them in a group space. I also do one-on-one coaching. And then with Queer Connections, with my matchmaking, when you join Queer Connections, you actually get put into a matchmaking database. So the people that I'm working with and matching, I will pull from that pool in Queer Connections, which is great because you're getting coaching and you're healing. So you know the people that you're being matched with are going to be healthy people, right? So that's a big thing. That's the biggest thing that I have going on right now is, my Queer Connections thing, and then building up this matchmaking database, because, dating apps don't always work, and it is a real thing. And I am the first queer woman of color in the country, possibly the world, to be a matchmaker that specifically only matches queer people. Yeah, there are a lot of people that matches LGBT.
We need it. We need it.
Yes. Like if anybody needs it, it's us, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I got going on. Yeah,
that's awesome. You see how she did that? She was like, I ain't got much.
I'm matching people, and you can't. Look.
So when you
I do. I have worked on people. I have worked with people in Canada, so we'll see.
Wow.
So
this is beautiful.
Whenever you're ready, I'm here.
Okay, when you signing up?
Look, I need to. I mean,
we can talk. We can definitely talk, because it's needed. Yeah, there's needed, and this is like matchmaking.
It's so important, because look,
it takes up like I do a lot of the work. We go over your profile and like we revamp it and all that, but I also will go in and like swipe on some people or whatever for you. We swipe together, and then I connect with other people, other matchmakers, and be like, hey, this is who I got. So there's a lot of the legwork that I'm doing. For the most part, you just have to work, keep yourself good, right? And like make sure you're healed, and then show up for the introductions when I tell you to show up.
Like Cyrano de Bergerac around here. Is that
that was my favorite movie.
Listen, yep.
I'm like Hitch over here, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, give me the word. What? Hey,
cheat code.
Yes. We would work on your messaging, like how you send messages and DMs and all that stuff. So
yeah, I could definitely use some help.
Yeah,
get me a wife out of here.
I got you. I got you.
They're being intentional. All right. Hey, you got anything before we wrap up? You got it.
It was coming to that time. It was like the whole time it was like, Keita's the guru, the dating guru. This was
I'm just gonna listen. I'm gonna listen and stare at dimples. That's what I'm gonna do.
It's
the dimples, man. It's the dimples. I've always had these.
This is good.
Let's
but
see.
Keita, thank you for this, especially doing this for our queer community, because for so long you got the eHarmonies, you got all these different. You're wanting to date, you have this desire, but you're being shown a heterosexual way of how to date.
Yep.
Am I the only person that watches the eHarmony commercials and tries to pick out which guy is gay? Like, I watch it and I'll be like, the way he picked up that dog, I'll be like,
he's gay.
Yeah, I was like, that's family.
I might have done that. I think I do that on like anything I watch. I'm like,
come on.
I'm just always out here looking, just to give him like a vote of
confidence. What are you recruiting?
Like, listen,
yes.
I rode up to a fast food restaurant the other day, and the guy came out to the front, and he was just like, just you little sweet, and I was like, hey, man. Like I'll be trying to be like, what's up, fam? How you doing?
You get overly excited.
I get excited.
You try to show them all your rainbows. I got some rainbow on. Hey, look,
I got forearm tattoos. Look at.
Oh gosh!
I need my thumb rings. I got to get my thumb rings again.
Queer
no, listen,
I love it.
My next step is the earring with the cross. Now I'm looking them up right now.
You gotta get you on Amazon.
Wait, you're not gonna do the eyebrow slit?
No, see, the way my eyebrows is naturally arched and pretty, I don't mess with them.
Yeah.
Was you on my phone today? I screenshot. I was like, oh, I want it here and here, but I couldn't get my hair cut. I was gonna show out on y'all, but
were you?
You know what? Let's leave that alone.
Tell the people of Rainbow Table Talk where we can find you.
I am on Instagram, TikTok. I'm also on Facebook, and I am at Keita Adams Coaching.
Awesome.
That's where you can find me everywhere. And I have a website. My website is keitaadams.com.
Is the domain for Queer Connections taken thus far? We need to look into that.
I don't know. We definitely need to look into that. I might look into that. Either way, like the matchmaking stuff will, it'll be on my website either way. I like that. It's like my name, people know me. It's a way to connect. But yeah, like anything with like Queer Connections, you can also find it on my link in my bio for TikTok and Instagram. And yeah, when you join the matchmaking, you also get Queer Connections with that. And, so that's an opportunity for you to show up weekly to get coached. You can message me. So like you have like this access to me that most people don't have. And the difference is you get that coaching and Queer Connections versus, Instagram and TikTok is like insight, right? Yeah. It's like, and you can do a little bit with insight, but we are literally taking actions in Queer Connections, and people are dating and have been dating, and just showing up is powerful because you never know who you're going to meet.
Listen, we started out our year on Rainbow Table Talk telling everybody that we just wanted to be happy, healthy, and whole within our life, within ourselves, within our spirituality, within our relationships with people. And so what you're doing for the community is amazing, and we thank you for that. And Kay, I think easy to say we're gonna have her back on the show. You know what I'm
Yes,
talking about?
yes. And then, Keita, right before you leave us here,
Mhm.
in short, what is one piece of advice you want to leave our listeners with?
Um, two halves don't make a whole, two halves make a hell. So it's important that you are whole, perfect, and complete going into your relationships and always looking at where you can grow.
Awesome.
Wow. That
Awesome.
was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Well, Keita,
You're
thank
welcome.
you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for blessing our listeners with some good dating advice. Everybody go out to Walmart, find your match.
No,
Yeah.
Target.
Go to
Target it is.
Target and quality.
Just I listen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Depending on the
Quality.
time of day at Walmart.
Walmart is where you can practice. It's like low hanging
Yeah.
fruit, like get a little practice in. But like Target on the aisle
Yeah.
and the pasta, that's where you want to go in. Like
Go to
Okay.
the cooking
Target.
section in Target.
yes,
Target. Everyone
That's
go
what
to
I
yes.
Target.
Listen, guys, this has been the
Awesome.
Rainbow Table Talk. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We are now available in podcast form on Anchor and Spotify. We have a TikTok and all that good stuff. So listen, we're trying to do some things and bring you more positivity and wonderful people like Keita to the LGBTQ community so you can see our progress. And that's a part of the
Stay
gay agenda.
tuned.
That's how we
Stay
work.
tuned. Stay tuned.
This is
All right,
awesome.
so
I love it.
all right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed evening. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for
Peace,
tuning in.
Bye,
everybody.
Have a good night.
everybody.
Bye.